Beyond the Bin is a free community reuse event that makes it easy for community members to give back. City Waste Reduction Specialist Kate Wayne is here to dive into the details of what's accepted, how it benefits the community, and why sustainability efforts like this matter. Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, we got a few questions for you to share with our viewers to give them a little more information about the event.
Sure.
All right. So, Kate, can you tell us more about the free community reuse event Beyond the Bin?
Yeah, absolutely. So our events are really meant to expand upon the services that we already offer through solid waste. We have the Tacoma Recovery and Transfer Center, where people can currently recycle things, they can dispose of waste, they can safely get rid of household hazardous waste, but there aren't a ton of options for reusing. And that is an area that we really would like to expand upon. So we're offering these free community events where people can bring items that they are going to then donate for reuse in our community. We'll also be doing some diversion during the events. So people, if they're not there just for the event itself, they might be there dropping off things for disposal. We could be asking them questions like, hey, do you have anything that we might be able to capture for reuse today? And if they do, then we can get those to our partners who will then distribute the items back into the community.
Okay, so to your point, it's like folks may be coming just to drop off items for, disposal, and then you can have that conversation with them like, well, by the way, we might be able to reuse this perhaps. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And so, Kate, can you also tell the viewers when and where the Beyond events are occurring?
Yes, absolutely. So our Beyond the Bin events, it's a series.
Okay.
So they'll be happening the 2nd and 4th Saturdays, May through September 2025. This is our first year doing these events. They'll happen from 10 to 2 p.m. or until our collection trucks are full.
Okay.
They will be happening at the Tacoma Recovery and Transfer Center on South Mullen Street, which a lot of people know for the recycle center or where they can drop off garbage for disposal.
Right, okay. And can you let our viewers know what types of items are accepted for donation?
Absolutely. We're going to be accepting a wide variety of items during the events because we're able to work with a bunch of really great partners that accept different things. So different items will be accepted on different days. The events that are starting us off, though, May 10th and 24th, we'll be accepting a lot of things like clothing, linens, housewares, small appliances, toys, books, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then we also will have some events later on with other partners like Habitat for Humanity and Northwest Furniture Bank, where we'll be able to capture furniture items.
Nice.
Yeah, so it'll be just kind of dependent on the day, but we have all of that information on our website of what partner will be there on each day and what they'll be accepting.
Okay. And so are there any restrictions on what can be donated?
Absolutely. We are looking for gently used items.
Okay.
A lot of our partners are really amazing at reusing, but we don't always have the capacity for refurbishing or repairing items.
Right.
So if an item is broken, we probably won't be able to take that item.
Okay.
We will not be taking any hazardous waste. That can go to the Household Hazardous Waste Center. And we won't be taking any commercial drop-offs. But other than that, it's really open to anyone within Tacoma and in the surrounding areas to bring items for donation that are gently used, still in pretty good condition, that could go to somebody else just to find a new home.
Okay. And I'm guessing the restrictions are also listed.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
So would you let our viewers know what happens to the donated items after they're collected?
Yeah, so our partners, I
Yes.
should mention who they are.
Okay.
So Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, Northwest Center and their Big Blue Truck program, and then Northwest Furniture Bank. What they are doing is really the important work. We're there to help with collection through
Yes.
solid waste. What they do then is they take the items away and they get it back into the community through their store faces or through their donation programs. A lot of our partners have programs where they donate directly to families or people in need. And then they also have their store-facing side of things like their thrift stores. And that's where you can also find some of these items. So either way, though, the items are not ending up in a landfill, which is great.
Wonderful.
And they are going back into our community.
Right. And I think it's really wonderful that these items that are being donated will go to families who are in need. And so, and versus, like you said, going to the landfill, they're actually going to families that can utilize these particular items. So we thank you folks for what you're doing as well as your partners.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think most people in our community don't want to see their perfectly good or maybe gently used items going to a landfill.
Right.
We just don't always know what we can do with them.
Exactly.
So this is a great opportunity to make it convenient and accessible for a lot more people.
Right. And then to your point about being able to make the community aware that some of these events that some of these items that they're wanting to get rid of are actually reusable. Hopefully they can spread the word to others so that everyone is aware at some point.
Absolutely.
You know? And so how can community members participate in these events?
So the events are open to everybody. Basically, if you can get your items to the Tacoma Recovery and Transfer Center, then you can participate. If you happen to be there for the event, great. If you're just there by chance, you can still participate. We have many dates throughout the series, so lots of opportunity. So maybe you're visiting the recycle center and you hear about our event, but you don't have reusable items with you that day. You can come back to another event date when you do have those items with you.
Right, okay. I'm going to ask this question. I think I might know the answer, but is registration required?
No, it is not.
Okay.
So easy peasy. Just show up and we'll be there.
And based on what you were just explaining about folks, if you just happen to be there, I kind of guessed that was the correct answer, but I didn't want to assume. And then so final question, how does this event benefit the local community and environment?
In a lot of ways. Kind of like I said earlier, a lot of people would love to see their gently used items be used by somebody else. If it's something that we no longer want or need, sometimes we're like, well, I can't deal with a lot of clutter in my home and maybe somebody else could use this. That's definitely one of the ways that this benefits our community, is providing a easier path to get gently used items to somebody else who might be able to use them. It also benefits our environment by keeping less stuff putting less stuff in our landfill, and then saving valuable natural resources in the process. When we reuse things, that means that the natural resources that went into making that thing get to continue on in their cycle of life that they are going through. So that's really nice to see those resources continue to be used in the environment and in our community.
Absolutely. And just, you did mention this is the first year.
Yes.
So I am anticipating great success and that this will happen again next year. So fingers crossed.
Yes,
positive
we're very
vibes,
hopeful.
Right?
Yeah. We're very hopeful.
Well, we definitely appreciate you being here, and major shout out to the community partners who are participating, and we look forward to having you back for an update.
All right. Thank you so much,
All
Laura.
right. Thank you so much, Kate.